Good morning. It is day 6 of our adventure, our second full day of being in Big Bend. Overnight was pretty chilly. It rained pretty continuously from about 5-ish until we fell asleep, and at some point it stopped raining, so it's not raining anymore, so that's good. Just drinking some coffee, watching this sunrise that is beautiful. We've got some time lapse going. All right, it is about 11 a.m. It is a gorgeous sunny day here at Big Bend, and we are about to head out of our campsite, Robber's Roost, and head over to Black Gap Road, the Badge Trail here, and start our day.
It was about a 3.5 mile drive from our campsite to the trailhead for Black Gap Road. Once there, we started the 8.5 mile trek through the trail that the Jeep Badge of Honor app rated from a 3 to a 6. So we weren't expecting anything too difficult, but we were certainly excited for what the day had in store. We started at the northeast trailhead of Black Gap Road, so the first thing we ran into was the descent into Glen Springs. Lemmy didn't have any problem going down, but Ray had a couple of points where the bumps were big enough that we scraped the frame trying to go over some of those. Nothing problematic, but with the longer Gladiator wheelbase, sometimes it's a struggle going over those hills. The majority of our off-pavement time has been spent in national forests, so it was a really cool experience to spend time out in the desert and just the different foliage that was around. I don't think I had ever really experienced anything like that where you just feel so out in the open and alone while you're out wheeling. It's certainly something I recommend if it's not in your normal wheeling habitat. We had a lot of fun just in all of the time we spent at Big Bend, but especially when we were out on Black Gap Road, spending time out in the backcountry desert. We eventually made it to the Black Gap, which is how the trail got its name. Going through the gap, there is a pretty large step, so we both had to get out and spot for each other as we were going up it. Even with stock suspension, we were able to make it, but it's certainly one of the more difficult of the obstacles that we ran into on this trail. after the Black Gap, the road started leveling off, and we were able to pick up the speed a little bit. Overall, I'd say that the Jeep Badge of Honor rating of a 3 to a 6 was accurate. There were those couple of obstacles that posed enough of a challenge to make it fun, but overall it was a nice scenic drive through Big Bend's desert.
So we just finished Black Gap Road. It was a lot of fun. It was pretty calm for a Badge of Honor trail, but the views were just absolutely incredible. Like just scene after scene that like I don't even think the videos or pictures are going to do it justice. Only a couple spots that we had to, take a look at before we went over them. Ray did have one point at the very beginning that Colin took a rock, not problematically hard, but just a little hard on the bottom, but that's why we have protection. And then another time where he just did a little bit of a slide on more of like a dirt area, but it was fine. Lemmy had no problem. Two-door Jeep, there's not really a whole lot that's gonna give Lemmy any trouble. There's a lot of this park that we still haven't seen, so now we are heading over to just check out as many corners of this park as we can. When we left this morning, Colin said that it could take about 5 hours to do the loop of Black Gap Road to River Road to all the way around Chisos Mountains. It is currently 4:17, so we have been at this for 5 hours now, and we are like completely opposite of Chisos Mountains from our campsite. So that's cool. Adventure is still adventuring. We might get in late tonight though, so that'll be fun. We know how to set up the tent in the dark, so that's not a problem. But we are probably going to be tired.
Even after we got back from the trip and I took another look at the map, I'm not entirely sure why I thought it would only take 5 hours. The route we took was from our campsite at Robbers Roost, all the way through Black Gap Road, across River Road West, all the way to Castellon, and then following the paved road from Castellon back up to Chisos Basin, and back to Robbers Roost from the northeast side of the park. Looking at it again, it should have taken about as long as it did end up taking, but I think we had fun. I think it was worth it to get out and see the entire park like we did. But if you're gonna follow that route, make sure to plan a full day for it and try to get started early. was a 9-hour day from when we left camp to when we made it back that night. I think even looking back on it, it was well worth it to see as much of the park as we did. There was a lot of wildlife that we saw, a lot of cows specifically, but it was also the first time that I had ever been to the Rio Grande and actually get to see that, as well as just seeing the park from so many different angles and getting to see so much of what is really, really a big park out at Big Bend. I don't really know that I even have the words to explain how cool it was to be out there spending so much time in the desert that day. And I'm really glad we got to spend the actual day of our anniversary doing that exploring.
It is nearing the end of day 7 of our adventure and our last full day at Big Bend.
We just headed out of Silver City and are on our way up to Gila National Forest.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, fun. That's amazing. That's what's important.
Let me get to use this winch.
Thanks for watching Staying Easy Presents. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can see the next part of this series.